In Zimbabwe, Guides Against Poaching, GAP, Zimbabwe Professional Guides Association, which we know as ZPGA, there's a lot of initiatives and a lot of moving parts to those two programs, and certainly the membership of ZPGA has grown in the last 3 to 4 years, and not only on individuals but also on trusts, NGOs, and we do have, as part of our membership, we've actually got national parks in there, or certainly national parks personnel. So it's dawned on us about a year and a half ago that there are a lot of critics. There's a lot of people around the world and here at home. People sit on their sofas and they're behind a TV and they profess to know everything. They create a lot of issues for us. And whilst we don't mind having those debates and strong debates, we felt that it might be a little bit more beneficial to everybody concerned to actually come together underneath a single roof. And so the idea of ZPGA Talks was born. ZPGA Talks, basically it's a talk once every 2 months, usually on a Friday evening. 3 talks around the country, one in Bulawayo, one in Victoria Falls, and one in Harare. 3 different speakers speaking on 3 completely different topics. Normally we've got about 100 people, so about 300 people collectively around the country will attend these 3 functions. The idea is to listen to what Zimbabweans are doing and what they're achieving, the issues that they face, and how they're getting over those issues, how they're going forward. It's very, very important. And the talks normally last for about 45 minutes to an hour. And there's a questions and answer session after the talk is concluded. And more importantly, you've got 100 people who are now together under one roof, and they can talk about the cool things that they're getting up to and the challenges that they are facing. And we are actually understanding that Zimbabwe, whilst a very small country, has got some incredible initiatives going on by incredible people. And so we are not silencing our critics, and we don't want to say that we don't want them talking up. We certainly want them to do that. We want to understand what their concerns are, but in so understanding, try and apply fixes to any problems that might be coming up, and be able to face have a debate on those important aspects of conservation. And let's face it, conservation is not an easy topic. There's no manual that's been written about it. There's no hard and fast solutions. But the only way to do it is a collaborative effort. And then we come back to where GAP is. And GAP is a collaborative effort amongst a lot of different people, a lot of different moving components, but it certainly is vital. We've recently partnered up with African bee products. So we're on 500 beehives around Zimbabwe. That provides us with an informant network. And it's very, very cool to see how when you befriend villagers and someone can trust you, how much information you can actually glean from them. So a very, very new and a very important initiative to be had with informants. We don't really have a training program as such, but certainly with all of our learner guides that we've got out there, whenever they come out at any opportunity, we try and train them. We've set up groups around the country. We've got a specific learner group in Victoria Falls, we've got a specific one in Bulawayo and one in Harare. And those groups we will draw on. It depends on where our operations are. We will draw on those learners from those areas. And so these guys and girls are really, really learning and gaining from us, pulling all of the conservation partners together. So, for example, in Harare, there's a beautiful woodland area there called Mukavuzi Woodlands. And there was a lot of poaching going on, but poaching that was wood poaching. Sounds a bit strange. But during our rainy season, when we've got, we call the mealies here, corn or maize in the rest of the world, a lot of wood is required to roast these things on the side of the road, and then taxis come past and they purchase the corn or the maize. It's obviously a staple food here. So the wood comes from Mukavuzi Woodlands, and we've taken a team of our learners in there for 5-6 days at a time to protect those woodlands, and every evening we give them courses. In Zimbabwe, a lot of the time things are easier to try out here simply because it's one country with one set of rules. Whereas other countries might be a bit bigger with 3 or 4 provinces that are about the same size as our country. So things do seem to work a little bit faster here. We can try out new techniques and angles supported by law through our National Parks Act. And then if they fail, we try something different. If they succeed, we then share that information with our neighboring countries. And I do hope that the other African countries do acknowledge what we're doing here and take some of our learnings away with them and try and implement them in their countries. And in fact, a program called UFA, the Operators and Professional Hunters Associations of Africa, we've got 11 members, 11 country members, and we do sit twice a year and we speak about a lot of the initiatives that are going on, and we try and share the failures as well as the accomplishments and achievements.